Back to the Kenny conversation real
Yeah,
quick.
man.
Just a quick question for you. If Mason doesn't have his game that he had against the Bengals, is Kenny starting against Seattle?
What does the game look like, though?
What?
You said if he doesn't have the game that he had against Seattle. So I'm saying, is it a Kenny game?
No. Doesn't have the game he had against Cincy. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what because even his Seattle performance is better than what we've seen from Kenny.
I know. Those are the best
Yeah.
2 QB performances we've seen over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Back to back from Mason.
So that's my whole thing. I'm just like,
But you get what I'm
like?
saying. I'm talking about his Cincy game where he had the
Cincy-
290 and 2 touchdowns.
And then say he would have went for like 150 this game.
No. I'm saying I'm backtracking. I'm talking about the whole conspiracy stuff.
Okay. Well, you know, see, I don't want to get in trouble. Bro.
Yeah, you were thinking about this Ravens game coming up.
Because I'm trying to stay out of trouble, bro. Okay.
There's no question Mason should be the starter for Week 18.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a question for Week 17.
Look, it could have been some.
But then Kenny dropped the.
Listen,
I was gonna be the starter if I was cleared, if I was healthy.
It could have been some conversation surrounding that is very valid prior to the Bengals game. That could have been very valid in terms of, yeah, man, you know, you go sit this week, get healthy, you start it next week. But the same way we always talk about, new information, right? What was the new information this week? Mason Rudolph went out there and cooked the Bengals.
Yeah, we were up 24-0 at half.
That was
and the game was over after 3 quarters.
So that was the new information. So can we fault any party that, if it's accurate or not, because we're just going to leave it like that, if it's accurate or not, could we fault a party on the front end being professional and extending that courtesy saying, hey, I know you're hurt, Kenny, but we want to see, Mason's going to play this week, let you rest, but you're going to start next week, right? And that's fine, professional courtesy. But now we all watched this same game where Mason went out there versus Cincy. So if I come back to you on Monday and I say, hey, bro, I know we just said before this game that you was going to get the spot, but you ain't done that. We haven't seen that. So I want to see that again. We're going to practice you this week, but I need to see that again. How do you get upset?
So you're
with
saying he
me?
might have been told he was going to be the starter for Seattle before the Cincy game?
There is a possibility that was, and not as a hard confirmation, but think of it more as this, right? We call it professional courtesy. If you're the starter, but it's some controversy surrounding your position, and you're hurt, the professional courtesy is for the coach to come and explain everything that he's thinking to you. He doesn't have to. It's a lot of injured players that don't even get that convo. But for him, he could have said, out of respect, because you're my quarterback and you're young and you're hearing a lot of chatter, let me just tell you now, Mason's going to start because you're coming off of this surgery. But all things leading up to this game, nobody anticipated Mason going for 292 tutties and cooking the way that he cooked in that Bengals game. None of us. Like, we might have thrown stuff out there tongue in cheek, but if people would have said, yo, show me who put 100,000 or who put savings on it, I guarantee that list is very small. So that's how you can really start to differentiate the I'm really confident versus I wasn't so confident. So it's like there wasn't nothing wrong with him saying that, hey, this is the plan. But Coach T will be the first one to tell you, man,
new info.
This is the plan right now. But if new info comes about where there's injury, where there's new personnel, where there's somebody stepping up, where there's somebody playing bad, somebody not playing well, somebody being pissed off, doing something bad, yo, that could change it. So you know that going in. But if everything goes like planned, you're the guy next week. So if everything went as planned, that would have been the case until Mason cooked. That was the outlier. That was this ain't right. Winning, yes, we were supposed to win. Him playing like that was like, whoa.
Tomlin was shocked.
All the Pittsburgh was like, bro, what is this? And for Kenny, he's the odd man because he's the only one that, if this is accurate, we're just leaving it at that. If it was accurate, he would be the only one that has something to lose because now his job becomes in jeopardy. Because if this guy can come in here and play and do something that we have never seen him do, even in his best game, air quotes, right? His best game was the first game post-Canada. And even in that game, you look at how he did versus Cincy, and you look at Mason in that exact same Cincy team, it's just like, bro, it's just night and day. So once again, it's like, how do you fault that? But at the same time, he's a human. I could definitely understand him feeling some type of way.
Yeah, he's probably thinking like, yo, we had that momentum.
Yeah, let me hop in here,
Canada,
bro. Come on, man. This is supposed to be my grind. I could have cooked
just like this.
Yeah. You see
Which
what
I believe, to what extent, I think we would have a much better record if Kenny was the starter.
But that's the whole question. To what extent? Because both records win. You're
talking about hypotheticals.
You look at Mason's all the time. He got a similar where he wins.
He's 2-0 right now.
But I'm looking from when he was starting here too. You do his full body of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's part of the argument for Kenny, though, right? Is that not? He wins. That's the whole argument. Look at the record, not the numbers. Look at his wins-loss, right?
I'm with that. I think the eye test Kenny versus Mason that we never saw the fourth quarter stuff out of Mason.
True.
Where like from start to finish, Mason was just kind of conservative.
I'm with you on that. And that's why we said this is the new information, though.
And Kenny, in his rookie year, consistently got better as the season went on. We never saw that from Mason.
Yeah, this is also true.
So that's the difference. I get the whole, do they both have winning records, or you could talk about the stats, but at least just watching the game, that's something you could say about Kenny versus Mason.
I'm with
for
you.
both of their careers.
Because you got to think, though, not everybody puts the winning stat on Kenny like how you do. So that's why I brought that up as they going to say that.
Sure.
But what you brought up, the fourth quarter part, that is a standalone. Kenny has that and has that exclusively. Absolutely. But like I said, this was the new information. So I can totally understand him if that were the case. Him feel some type of way. Trust me, it happens a lot, man. You get them combos, you be like, all right, bro, it's mine. I'm back.
What would be interesting is if you put together Mason's like last 4 games. 4 or 5 games. What would it be?
No.
Ever since 2019?
Think about his last 4. His last 4 would have been the 2 we just saw, Cleveland Browns, where he went crazy,
Lions.
and then
if
that
you
Lions
put
game.
those 4 together, I'm sure that's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not bad at all. But small sample.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Can you put all this together for a month and then 2 months, 3 months, full season?
Right now, he's showing at least a probability.
All right, you do it again. This is 3. You're doing it in the playoffs.
3 in a row.
And that's big moments.
Yeah.
That's 4. That's 5. That's whew.
Yeah, 3 in a row is major, man. 3 in a row is major. We always say, man, anyone can do it once, do it twice. Anybody can get lucky 3 times. That's a streak. Now you're getting consistent with this thing. And I want to see, can you keep stacking them? But right now, this is beautiful because, like I said, just from offense, defense, special teams, we're responding. The energy is back out there. There are no more questions about has Coach Tomlin lost his ability to connect with the youth. Think about that.
Pickens seems pretty happy too.
When the last time you said anything about scheme, routes, middle of the field? When the last time we heard that? Nothing, right? Nothing.
Probably at some point during Mitch's couple starts.
O-line. Anything about the O-line? Think about it, right? Running game. All these other things we've critiqued and criticized when, he was the main dude. It was a lot of other stuff that we've pointed out.
Which could have been true, too.
Fair enough.
Which could have been true. But I don't think it's a coincidence. A lot of that stuff is better being Mason out there, with Mason being out there.
I just look at the one throw to Pickens, man, where he's making the deep bomb. GP makes the diving catch. You look at Mason have to stand in the pocket and step into a throw where we've seen both Mason, where we've seen both Mitch drift out the back, throw it off his back foot, airmail it for interceptions, and we've seen Kenny Pickett reverse out the back door trying to run and get hurt. That, to me, was like a big difference. I'm like, we're watching a dude that, yes, he's not as athletic as the other dudes, but he's more willing to stand in his pocket and stand tall. And that's part of what we need. And it helps this offensive line out as well. When you step it up versus trying to bail out.
And he's throwing lasers.
Oh, bro, big arm. You see it? Big
he's
arm.
Throwing lasers.
It's not even close. Big arm.
The arm talent's there.
Bro, he's not even stepping into stuff. I'm like, God, dog. That thing just flip out the wrist.
My thing is this. Where was this in 2019? Like, this was the reason that people were calling for the duck is because Mason wasn't showing this. He was checking down all the time.
But when we talk playing, confidence matters.
Yeah.
It was his first go around in 19, and his mindset was, let me not make a mistake. Let me be what I think QB1 is. Now he's had a chance to recover from a failure. That's why I'm interested to see with Kenny, how he recovers from it. Because there are certain things about Kenny that people are going to criticize that I think part of that are youth. Part of that is not trying to make a mistake. Part of that is the pressure of, I'm the first-round quarterback that played collegiately here that is supposed to be the savior following 7. Let me make sure I do every single thing right. And you get in your own head. You're not playing, you're thinking. You watch Mason right now, Mason ain't thinking. Mason out that thing like, bro, what you're going to do? You're going to bench me again? I done that. You going to cut me? What you going to do? You going to not sign me back? Mason got house money right now, and the more performance he stack, just the bigger that check going to be this offseason for him, man, whether that's here in Pittsburgh or, one of these other partners, because it's plenty of teams. You seen how Josh Dobbs got opportunities, right? Well, who do you think, if Mason don't stay here, the one they're going to all be looking at, as long as he keep doing what he doing right now, that's going to be the hot commodity right now. That's going to be the one they want to take a chance on. Man, you see that Mason Rudolph, bro? Shoot, he done came back. He's a high pedigree guy. 3rd-round pick, big on. You saw what he did in college. So, we shall see, man. We shall see.